Hey guys, Scourge McDuck or SMD here with some more replay reviews. If you'd like to buy private coaching from me on Metafy, the link can be found in the description. Or if you'd like to support my team, a link to our merch store can also be found in the description as well. Okay, so in this game I played carry Undying. Undying is just one of the strongest heroes right now in this patch. It was normally played as 5, and then people started experimenting and playing it off lane because its laning is so strong. And now people will even play it safe lane because its laning so strong. So pretty much no off laner can lane against you, because you just steal their strength, so they lose HP, and you can just deny every creep. And the reason Undying is so strong is any position this patch as well is they buffed him. So in 7.32, you can see here that I'm hovering over, you no longer enemies no longer gain health when decay expires, and you no longer lose health when decay expires. So it's pretty much a heal for you, and it's actual damage for the enemies. Whereas in the past, if the enemies had a lot of decay stacks on them, they would get like extra value and things like that from using tangos. And now it's just like normal value. So if you were against Undying in the past, you could just buy a lot of regen, and then when the decay expires, you're full HP. But now when the decay expires, you're not going to be full HP. You're going to be losing the health that you lost from the strain. So it's just really good ability right now. Decay is the main reason Undying's a top tier hero, and it can pretty much just play any role for that reason. And it's just so strong, and in pubs especially, people won't know which role you're playing Undying in. So you can just first pick it and play it as a carry. You can play it as an offlaner. If it gets really hard countered, you can even ask your teammates to swap you and get a different carry in the later phases, but you can normally just get away with first picking it in any role right now. So yeah, I first picked Undying in this game. They have Morphling, who if you watch my Morphling video, it's a pretty good hero against Undying. You can buy the Ags and turn into Undying and spam the decays, and the Tombstone even without the Ags is really strong, and you get the status resistance now because of the new Morph Ags. But yeah, some people in 5 position, they'll just start with a lot of mangoes, since like I explained, your Q is now like a heal for your hero, whereas it didn't used to be. So you can just get away with a lot of mangoes to allow you to spam more. But I'm copying Anna's starting item build. His team picked it twice, carry Undying. He laned it in the offlane both games, but he played Undying twice on T1 for the 2-time OG TI winner Anna. And yeah, I was just doing like his starting items. I think in one of the games he started with a stick, because I said he played it twice. The other game he did this build. It didn't look like a stick would be that value to start with in my lane, so I went for this build to start. So I mean, the laning is going to be pretty standard. You always want to try to decay on 2 heroes, obviously, because you know, you'll get 8 strength instead of 4 strength. And I've got 2 double decays so far, so if you're playing against Undying, make sure he doesn't get double decays. And yeah, so I just have a bunch of damage right now, and I'm last hitting and denying. And another thing, if you're laning against strength heroes, you can prioritize decaying them if you want over the other hero, because they'll lose damage. They won't only lose health from the decay, but they'll also lose damage. So if they have a strength 4 who's trading with your 5, you might want to decay him instead of the offlaner. Or if they have a strength offlaner, you probably always want to prioritize using decay on the strength offlaners, because they'll be losing damage and you'll be gaining damage. So it's pretty much doubly effective because of them losing damage and you gaining damage rather than you only gaining it. So it'll be a big damage swing for the lane. So something else I'll point out, I guess, early in this replay, is I think in this game, I guess I can check, I have it open on my other monitor as well, because I know the first few games I played it, yeah. Okay, so in this game I maxed Tombstone before getting any points in Soul Rip. When I was watching Anna, he was getting a point in Soul Rip, and I just feel like 1 point early is such a useless heal, because I was experimenting. That's why I wasn't sure if this game was before I stopped scaling it or not, and it is after I stopped scaling it. So the heal just doesn't feel that impactful. The damage doesn't feel that impactful. The only real purpose of Soul Rip with 1 level point in my opinion, would be for the Tombstone heal. And on the carry Undying, as opposed to like the 5 Undying, I feel like your Tombstone placement is much less impactful. So when you play 5 Undying, you almost always want to try and tomb on a high ground. So like here, or here, or here, just any of these big ward spots here, 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 and here and here. I'm not sure if I missed any or whatever, but you know what I mean. You want a Tombstone on a hill, so it's hard for the enemies to attack your Tombstone, but when you're playing the carry Undying, you can just man up and fight them, and it's like, you can protect your Tombstone with your body pretty much, and then if they're killing your Tombstone, you'll be killing them, and if they're not killing your Tombstone, they'll be getting owned by the Tombstone. So it's like a lose-lose situation. And you can always Soul Rip your Tombstone, since you'll be like really close in the fight. Whereas if you're a 5 Undying, you might die after you Tombstone, or you might have to run away, and it'll be too hard for you to Soul Rip it all the time for the heal. But on the carry Undying, your Tombstone placement is way less important in my opinion. But yeah, in this game, but yeah, so I don't like getting Slurp. I like going 4-0-4, and yeah, we hit level 2 here off this creep, and they're a bit out of position. I decay, and then I Tombstone, and they're focusing my teammate for first blood, and I end up getting the first blood anyways. And then I believe I get a double kill here. Yeah, I get a double kill because of the Tombstone, so that's a really nice start to the lane. I dropped my Soul Ring and Boots because I got a first blood and a secondary kill, and I'm highest CS in the game. The wave's naturally pushing now because of the Tombstone usage, so I'm just shoving it even harder so it pushes into tower so it can bounce back. Or we can get a pull off with the wave being pushed into their tower. And yeah, we don't get, it didn't bounce back that hard because it was such a big wave, so I'm going to probably shove this wave too, but we weren't able to get a pull. So yeah, I don't really care about this wave's positioning. And now, yeah, now it'll bounce back pretty well. So, I mean, I decayed him there with level 2 decay, so it does level 1 decay, does 0. And here's, I guess I'll mention this. The other big reason, it's not just the decay that it's so powerful right now. Well, I mean, it is the decay, but it's not just the reason I mentioned before. I don't think it was last patch, but a few patches ago, they made it so decay deals 2 times damage to creeps, and you have a 60 decay damage. So at level 10, you get an extra 120 damage on decay towards creeps. You can one-shot the range creeps, and 2 decays will kill a wave. That's the other reason why it's so strong on core. And I mean, yeah, the laning was buffed for all roles, and core specifically. I mean, even on support, you know, you're not mad if your decay does more damage to creeps if you have to kill waves. But 2 decays one-shot a wave, and you have a 4-second cooldown on decay, and at level 20 you can get a 2-second cooldown. But I don't think you normally take that on any position, because the Ags is also nerfed, by the way, so it's only 8 strength now rather than 10. I think I mentioned that in my morphing video as well. But yeah, but if you wanted to at level 20, you could take that talent, but the one on the right is usually better. But yeah, you can use 2 decays and you'll one-shot an entire wave. Actually, you won't kill the flag bearer, but you'll kill everything else. But yeah. So we got the pull off. Actually, it wasn't a great time to pull, to be honest. So like I said, I was shoving those last 2 waves in, so it would bounce back. And here, these creeps are healthy enough that if I ever to my range, I should be able to keep the wave back for the future waves. But let's see, if he... Yeah, he didn't stack pull it or anything. This is like a really bad pull in my opinion. Because now it's going to shove back into them after we got the lane back. We want the lane to be back so I can spam decay and we can deny every creep, and if they ever approach, we can kill them with a tombstone again. So here, this guy had mangoes, and I was trying to ask him to mango me, and he just did it too slowly. We may have been able to get 1 return kill. I could have potentially saved him, or maybe we would have even got the 2 return kills, because my Soul Ring was cooldown, but he didn't mango me quick enough, so that didn't work out. One thing I had noticed with the Undying is there does come a point where you use a lot of mana and lots of like health, and you can die. And it normally doesn't matter much because you're winning the lane so hard in CS, and you probably have some kills too, so feeding 1 kill isn't that bad because you get all your resources back. But that's something to watch out for. I don't know if it happens in this game, we'll see. Because I've been playing this hero a little, like more than this one game. I don't remember exactly what happened in this game specifically. So here we tombed to try and get a kill, and we weren't able to. The Razor CS is actually pretty similar to mine. Yeah, right here again, I just have no mana. I think he had, I guess he did use his mangoes. I don't know if they were used on me or him. We have a Monkey King here for some reason. I don't really think he should have came here because we were winning our lane already. I think I do die in this, like I mentioned. Like, I'm just so low health right now in mana. I tried to decay and my Soul Ring mana went away. So I die here, but it's not usually, like I just mentioned, it's not the end of the world usually if you like die once and then dying. As long as you're winning the lane. If you're losing the lane and then end up dying, then it's probably not good. But there's very like few lanes I think. Like, I honestly don't know a single lane that you should be losing on a carry on dying in this patch. I cannot think of one. Because if it's like a Sorta or whatever, who like are traditionally good against melee strength heroes, you just decay him, and it's like I said, it's doubly effective against the strength heroes because they're losing the damage as well as you gaining the damage. And any ranged hero you just own really hard, and you can just commit on for kills. Like Viper isn't even that bad, I don't think. I haven't played against the Viper with the carry Undying, but the 5 Undying is pretty decent against Viper, so I assume it would just be better if it's a carry Undying. You get more points in decay and more points in Tombstone earlier. But yeah, I'm ahead in CS. I have 2 kills. One was the first blood. I saw Anna buying the Blades of Attack. Sometimes I'll go for the other part for your phase boots first, because just get the armor. But in this game I went for just the extra damage, I guess. I bought a stick at some point too. And the reason I guess the Soul Ring is so good, I didn't really mention, Soul Ring was nerfed recently. The recipe is now 400 gold, so it's quite a bit more gold. But if you Soul Ring once, you can use 2 decays, depending on the level. But yeah, at level 2, actually, at level 2 you can just use 2 decays. If you click it instantly after Soul Ring, you can click another one before the Soul Ring times out. So you can decay twice with your Soul Ring, and like I said, decay now heals you when like the strength expires. So you can just Soul Ring pretty much whenever it's up and use decay. So right there, I maybe should have even Soul Ringed. And right here, look, I Soul Ring, I decay once. I tomb. I guess he died before the secondary decay. So, other things to mention on Undying, I guess, for carry is the Flesh Golem is really strong right now. I think they removed the damage amplification at some point, but it's been back for a while. So, you get a crazy amount of just damage amplification. You also get a slow, a strength multiplier, and bonus movement speed. And the Shard, though, reduces the cooldown by 35 seconds and applies a zombie whenever your ult's on with a Tombstone. And you have a level 15 talent that adds Tombstone zombie damage. And the zombies, I don't know if it fully says, yeah, they like, their attack slow the target, yeah. And they attack and move faster when your enemy is below a certain percent of health. So you'll slow them even more with the zombies, and you can buy Echo Saber, which slows even more, and you'll get 2 attacks when your Flesh Golem's on with your Shard. So it'll make 2 zombies. And the zombies on the Shard is also really good for roshing. Even if you're 5, you can do it. You can get it, and with Tombstone in your ult, with the damage amplification on your ult as well, you can kill Roshan with a lot of carries who aren't really good at killing Roshan, even if you're a 5 Undying. But on the carry Undying, yeah, it's just super nice for killing Roshan too. And the cooldown reduction and everything. Yeah, so here, I don't know, these guys were just sort of playing on the side. I know, like, Undying is pretty uncommon, that's why I'm mentioning a lot of small mechanics and not looking at the lane too much. And I've already explained the lane, like, it's fairly straightforward. Try and decay strength heroes, or try and get 2-man decays, and when Tombstone's up, you can try and kill heroes with it as well. But yeah, these guys came from the side and killed me here. But I TP back, and I get a kill on this guy. I went for the core there. Maybe if I went for the Dark Willow first, I could have killed them both. But I wanted to make sure the core died. I wasn't sure if his TP was up or not, and it wasn't. So I certainly, yeah, he had no Plung Blades or anything. I certainly could have got both kills had I went for this Dark Willow. But in the game, I thought better safe than sorry. Go for the core hero here. Yeah, so I use my ult and tomb. You don't really want to fight when your ult's on cooldown on this hero. Or your tomb, I guess. But when they're up, you're just like one of the strongest team fighting carries. It's like similar to like a Void, I guess, in that sense. But your laning's just like way stronger than any other carry in the game right now. And your scaling isn't bad by any means because of your damage amplification. And your talents are all just insane. You have the decay talent, like I said, so you can kill waves really fast, so you can keep up with farm against heroes who traditionally, you know, would out-farm a hero like Undying. The zombie damage synergizes really well with your ult shard and Echo Saber. Tombstone on death or decay, they're both pretty good, but yeah, the Tombstone on death is pretty good. It synergizes really well with your Aegis and buybacking. And at level 25, you have you just gain an ability. It doesn't affect any of your abilities. You just gain a reincarnation on 300 CD. So you pretty much have an Aegis on a 300 second cooldown in the late game. And on a carry, that's just pretty absurd talent to just have. And you know, it's even more absurd when you take into account the Tombstone on death. So you're a carry who just has a free Aegis on a 300 second cooldown, and whenever you respawn, you just spawn a Tombstone. So here, yeah, I got low from the fights, I believe. Like I said, it's a pretty new, unique hero, so I'm talking more about the grand scheme of things rather than the like laning details. So let's just rewind it and see what happened, I guess. So yeah, I got that kill, and then I had no ult or Tombstone, so I think I just farmed my way back to base and look for neutral items. I don't really want to die anymore. I tried to decay it and push it out a bit, but this guy's stronger than me right now because my abilities are cooldown, and he doesn't have decay stacks because he just spawned. So yeah, I guess I was forced to tomb here again, actually. Maybe we came back and... Okay, so yeah, I laned for a bit in my mid-ganked him, and now I'm just super low, so I think I'm going to farm my way back to base here and try to get some neutral items on the way. Tiny TP'd, so he wanted a few camps, so I'm just taking these 2 camps here. Or I just took 1 camp, I was too low to even farm the large camp. So now I go back to base, we have a siege mid, I believe, and I'm going to have Tombstone in my ult up. So yeah, you're a carry, but you want to like fight when your ult and your Tombstone are up pretty much. Because like your Tombstone's pretty much a secondary ultimate as well. So whenever those are up, you can look to fight, you can look to pressure with sieges, you can come to your team. And then when those are down, you just go and decay waves pretty much is how you want to play Undying as a carry. Because you'll, like, when you're level 10. Like, if you're not level 10, it's pretty useless to decay waves, and you should just, like, look to just farm a lane if you're, ult in your tombstone or cooldown. But here I have everything, so I come, force a fight. Yeah, I got pretty low, but I'm really tanky. They used a lot on me to get me that low. Now I farm a camp. Yeah, here I guess I go for 2. Maybe even a third if I think I can. And I don't think I can, so I go home here. Now I have my Echo Saber. It's not the fastest Echo Saber timing, to be honest. The enemy scores are actually higher net worth than me. Even though I have 6 kills. I have those 2 deaths, and all the kills we were getting, I was using a lot of resources for. I was using a lot of health and mana, so I wasn't really able to sit in lanes. I had to buy lots of TPs and walk back to the fountain a lot. And that was getting more jungle creeps than lane creeps, which is just less gold overall. But here we go. I healed. Tombstone's up again. I just come mid. Tombstone, 75-second cooldown, but you know we're using it like pretty much off cooldown, which is really nice. You want to like fight. You want to make sure you're like using your ult and your Tombstone whenever they're up. It's kind of like Spectre, where it's like just free gold if you use your ult every like time it's up. You just want it to always be on cooldown, so you got like an assist or a kill. It's pretty much like an extra Midas, and then with Undying, it's pretty much the same concept. Like same with like Void in the early game. You want to like use Chrono to kill and then keep farming. So yeah, I want to use my spells, get some kills, and then keep farming. So if we get some kills or some towers or anything, we're just applying pressure on the map. So then they have to spawn, and it's buying time for my abilities to come off cooldown. And they just feel so much more pressure to do something while those are on cooldown too. And if we just chill a bit and get them back up, we're gonna be safe. So just yeah, use your spells, then farm safely a bit, and then go use them again. Yeah, so we do a bit of a crazy dive here. We got like some kills, and then we were doing really good pressure onto the tower. So yeah, we got the tower actually too. So if we just didn't dive too much, it would have been really nice. But my team dove a bit too much, but it's okay. I guess I lived. So this guy's trying to pressure me. I think he actually took my big creep. I think I actually end up dying here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just playing too far up. I was way too low HP. But I mean, yeah, I had some HP and some mana, so the other times I didn't have like any at all. So I was just being a little too greedy that time, which is actually really bad. But my net worth is catching up to the morph now, after the mid fight. But yeah, not good to die like that. Solo to their 5. That's their 5 position in this game. Or, yeah, it is their 5 position, so not a good hero to be dying to. Yeah, but my spells are back up after I spawn. Go and take another fight mid. I tried to tank some of the scouts so my teammate would live, but I wasn't able to. We're diving, pressuring tier 2. Looks like they used Glyph on the mid tower maybe. And it doesn't refresh anymore after the secondary tower dies, and we took the top tier 1 first. It only refreshes once on each tier of a tower. So the first tier 1 you kill, it gets refreshed. First tier 2 you kill, it gets refreshed. And first, well, I guess not that you kill, that you lose. And then the first tier 3 it gets refreshed. I'm not sure if it gets refreshed when your tier 4 dies. I don't think it does. Yeah, so here once again just living on extremely low HP, but it like kind of might look like a bit of luck, but it's just so hard to kill this hero. They use so much, and while they're using all their spells on me, my team's using spells on them, and it's like pretty reliable to escape on low HP. So yeah, use my spells, walk home. Spells are almost up again. I have BKB now. I already mentioned why the shard's good. So this is just the standard build on the carry Undying. It's just Echo Saber disassemble for BKB. And then you can buy a shard and another Echo Saber and then a Blink Dagger. And you just ult and blink and BKB and kill heroes. Nice kill on the Morphling here. So we have... Maybe I want my shard before Roche, but it feels like we could have Roche right now. But my team's all playing on the bot side and we have this ward, I guess. So we're just going to wait for my shard and get an extra tower here before we go looking for it. So now I have my shard coming and we should probably look to go Roche as soon as possible. It's just going to be impossible for them to fight into us, even with Black Hole down. But maybe we want to play it a bit safe and get some vision out or something like that. Yeah, we've been down gold the entire game, which is kind of insane. This is my first time watching the replay, and I certainly didn't feel like we were down gold. I felt like we were ahead all game. Because you can just tell, it's similar to my Medusa game that I went over recently, if you want to look at that one, how we're behind, but we just have really good heroes. And we're playing like we're ahead, even though we're behind in gold. Yeah, so here I guess we used my ult to try and get a kill, and my shard came, so now we're just going to ult with my, or Roche with my ult. We don't even need the tombstone at it, we just have the damage amplification for my ult, and the zombies for Roshan spawning off my attacks as well. So now we got an Aegis. Like I said earlier too, Aegis with level 20 is really good, but this Aegis will certainly time out before I'm level 20. So here, I think I end up losing my Aegis, but not dying twice. My team killed Sky mid. I should just be walking back away, I guess. We see the Razor. Yeah, I don't know. They have Pudge and Morph. They had their mid and their carry here. I just kind of didn't expect it, I guess. And I thought my team, maybe I thought my team would connect to me sooner since I do have Aegis. But, yeah, I mean, this is really unfortunate or whatever. Like, bad. I'm not even unfortunate. It was just a bad play by me to be here. They're not showing on the bottom wave or anything like that. They're not showing on, like, our ward top. They're not showing themselves react to, who was it, Sky? Yeah, they're Sky dying. So I should have just been, more passive there with my positioning. Safer. But it's not the end of the world. We have my ult now. I still have BKB. I didn't use it there. We get some more kills. We're still down gold, even with Roshan, a tier 2. Yeah, now we just passed them in gold finally. Try to heal this guy. I don't really want to die here. I'm trying to help him a bit. In hindsight, you know, the tomb was just sort of wasted. I fogged this guy in TP. He's a Razor, doesn't have a stun. I saw him TPing to the outpost there. I TP'd bottom so I can get some farm. My team got gone on mid, which is pretty unfortunate during this. I had no tombstone, and our Enigma was already dead. So here too, I think my team said they had a ward, like, after the fact. I'm just confused how this guy saw me. I guess he used his Q initially. I guess it's just my pathing was weird. Well, there you have it. That'll explain it. But I was just trying to set up with Tomb because their Enigma was spawning, and I have ult and they have no Pudge, so it's a 4v4 with Black Hole, and or no, I guess I don't have Tomb actually, but my ult I just have BKB. I don't have used it 10 second BKB or 9 second BKB. It doesn't go to 10 anymore. But yeah, our Enigma spawning soon with Black Hole, and I just thought we'd be able to like defend this, but I do some really weird pathing I guess around these new trees that haven't been in the game that long. They end up stealing a Tombstone too, which is pretty like good. If we can ever force Morph's ult or force his Tombstone back away, we'll have a large window to fight, because Morph does counter Undying, since he can make a Tombstone too. So it's like, normally you have the Tombstone advantage when you have an Undying, right? But against Morphing or potentially like a Rubik, it can be like an even trade-off if he gets a Tombstone as well. So it's important to, dodge his Tombstone and be able to fight when it's down. So that was pretty okay for us in the end. I mean, I used my BKB for it. And my ult, I guess. But we're going to have them both up soon now. We're playing together. We find a jump here. Yeah, actually the Morphling died, huh? The Morphling dies like a lot, like at the later points in this game, because of my damage amplification and just the tiniest burst. So we stunned the Razor here. And I tombstoned, actually. My tombstone gave vision of the Morph. He hit like a blind avalanche when he was going for this guy as well. But my tombstone made it so we can go on the Morph. The Morph didn't buy the shard here, so he couldn't shift during the tiny stun. That's a pretty nice team fight. Used tombstone though. Still have ultimate though. The way that fight worked out, I didn't really have a blank ult opportunity to attack anyone. I just had my tombstone. So, still have ult. Honestly, it's kind of nice when you like don't have to use ult or tombstone if you only have to use one or the other, because you can kind of look for a secondary fight with only one of the abilities. But yeah, ideally if you're taking a 5v5, you're going to want them both. So here you can buy AC. I've seen some people buy like a Moon Shard here, and just for the zombies. But you're really low armor on Undying. I think the plate mill is really nice. I could have went with the Hyperstone if I wanted just the attack speed at this point. Like, yeah, if you want to look, here's like the build I made, looking at like people are playing. I think you can buy Windlace early sometimes because you do show up to a lot of fights, but you do kind of run out of slots quickly since you have a Soul Ring and you have a wand that you're gonna like sell pretty early, and your Echo Saber is like a moderately cheap item. Like I could have had a Windlace right there, but I mean I would have had a I have a wand anyways. So I mean you can go for Windlace. Halberd's okay against like Morph, or not Morph. I mean I guess ranged heroes as well, but like Slark and Ursa. Abyssal's pretty nice, it's just extra stuns and you're naturally buying Blink. But yeah, this is just like the core items here. These are situational. Ags against a bunch of strength heroes can be okay, but yeah, you kind of want other items, and you can, I mean, you're right-clicking a lot, so if you're going for like mass decay, it'll kind of distract you from right-clicking. Your damage is usually enough anyways. If you want to have like really long fights, maybe it's okay, but normally you want pretty quick fights, because of your ult's damage amplification, you want to just kill a hero really quickly, and then, you know, have the fight just like end there. They'll either walk away or you'll chase and get some more heroes. You're not really wanting to play the carry Undying with like spamming decay too much. But here, yeah, look, so my tiny blinks on this guy and I ult and blink in just for the damage amplification. Yeah, he went invis somehow. I don't know if he got glimmered. Yeah, he got glimmered, it looks like. But we kill him. Lots of damage. I'm 12 and 3. My tiny's also doing pretty well. We did some weird stuff early, and we were actually behind out of all lanes with an Enigma, which is pretty wild. I mean, bot probably could have went better. I had some depth, like I mentioned. And my support did some weird pulls. But here, yeah, we have the Tombstone. I should have probably healed it. I guess I didn't. But we're really strong. My ult's out, my Tombstone's out. Now we should try and back. My tiny finds another jump though, actually. I'm just spamming decays from the back. They're losing health. I'm gaining damage and health. Fight's over here. The Morph could potentially try and look to kill me, so I'm trying to just push this lane and run back soon. He should his Manta's mid, but I'm fine. I walk home, heal, get full mana, have all my abilities again. In Undying, you can have like greedier mids too. I know at like lower MMR pubs, a lot of carry players will complain to me about their mids always picking really greedy heroes, and you can fight a lot on Undying, like at all stages of the game. So it's fine to have greedy heroes with Undying as well. So here, yeah, we ult the Razor on Enigma. I ult him too. We kill him. I blink on this Sky. Kill him too. BKB the Dark Willow spell. Kill him too. Chase the Morphling down. And kill him too. Just an absurd amount of damage on my hero. Gonna have AC now, so minus armor for them. Minus armor for buildings too. Find another guy here, I think. I thought they bought back, but he still died. I guess he just doesn't die. I'm thinking of a different game there, I guess, huh? He just TP'd out because we stunned him. Yeah, Strength Blink is nice too. Just more slow and more strength for you. More damage. And with, yeah, your ult and zombies and your shard and your Echo Saber, you can just slow them a bunch. Here, I'm trying to not use my BKB. That guy walked through the bramble, so I thought I could get up, but the tree body blocked me into it. But it's fine. I BKB'd here, and it looked a little bit early, to be honest, in hindsight, but yeah, I mean, you can just see the strength of this hero, probably. There's not too much to say. You just fight a lot, and then you heal when your spells are down, and then by the time, like, yeah, you fight a lot, then you, like, kill a few camps or waves, and then you heal, and then your spells are back up, and you go again. And I was pretty much doing that same thing the entirety of this game. Yeah, so, like, yeah, my tiny zoning, too, is 25 kills, 25 and 5, but I'm 17 and 3. It's not like I'm just farming it or anything, and he's doing it all himself. A lot of his kills were helped by my Tombstone and ult and my decays as well. Yeah, here I went a bit too crazy. The Pudge bought back, and I thought there was an opportunity to kill him and live, and then we'd have a large window where I could heal and we could fight 4v5, but I dove too hard, and now Roche is up. It's actually like a really bad time for me to be dying. But their Pudge is dead, so hopefully they won't be able to Roche, and they weren't able to Roche. Now we're able to just go and take it ourselves. Yeah, because I was dead, there's some weird like fights getting started. My Enigma tries to black hole and just dies. Yeah, like, we're so strong early. My Enigma itemized really poorly, in my opinion. So he itemized Wraith Pact, Blink, and Spirit Vessel. Because we're so strong early, I think he can afford to go for greedier items. I think Wraith Pact's fine. I think the Vessel's the issue here. Let's see, how much does a Vessel cost? What's happening here? I'm not super sure how much it costs, but yeah, it's like 1,000 less than a BKB. So, and he has like, you know, 2.2k gold. He just bought the Ogre Club, so he could add a BKB at this point. And I think it's just so much better. I don't think we need the Vessel for the Morph or anything. I think, yeah, just more team fight. They can never team fight us, and we're gonna be happy. But we get a few kills anyways. We use Black Hole. Get another Roche though. A shard for someone, not me. I already have mine. Looks like Tiny's gonna take it. Try and look for more kills. Trying to wait for my ult a bit before we go high ground and just try and get pickoffs. So they found our Monkey King, but we come down and fight. I break the Morphless Lincolns with my W, so my team can use stuns or swaps on him, and here we go, we get a swap because of that too, I believe. I don't think anyone else casted any spells after I broke his Lincolns. And we end up killing the Morph, we end up killing the Pud, we end up killing everyone pretty much. And we're going to be able to walk down lands and push. I have AC, do a lot of damage. I have Aegis now with my Tombstone on Death this time, like I mentioned with the first one, so I'll have 2 Tombstones. If I die, I'll place one and have another one. And then if I die again, you know, there'll be 3, but I'll be dead. Also, I just hit 25, so I could potentially have 4 Tombstones here. But that's if they, you know, manage to kill me 4 times, which is pretty unlikely. And if they kill me 1, 2, or 3 times, as long as that 4th one doesn't happen, we're going to be happy with that trade probably. Because if they're killing me 3 times, they're probably dying some heroes and losing buildings. Yeah, get a Tombstone out. He swapped me to try and find a stun, I guess. They use a Tombstone, we're able to just fight it if we want. I have no ult now either. Like I said, I have 3 lives. They hooked my Tiny, it looks like. I try and help. My Enigma misses Black Hole, but we're just ahead really far at this point. So it's kind of interesting. I didn't realize we were behind gold the entire game, pretty much. Or not the entire game, you know, but for a large majority of it, we were behind gold, actually. It felt like we were ahead, and we were fighting like we were ahead. But I guess just some of the like dives on the mid tower after the tier 1 died, my team fed a bunch of extra kills. If we like didn't do a few plays like that, we probably would have had the gold lead. But yeah, we had the tower lead, and we just had like good heroes. So we played like we were ahead all game. Every time my spells were up, we took fights. We took Roches. They didn't sneak any Roches. We didn't do any really bad fights when Roche could be spawning or anything like that. I guess I did that bit of a dive, but I did get the trade on the Pudge, so they weren't really able to do Roche. And I think I had a buyback anyways if I had to use it, but I didn't. So yeah, Undying is just like really free MMR. This is a carry hero I went 20-4 with after first picking. There's not too many great counters. My Tiny did pretty well. He did a lot of damage, but no one else on my team did that much damage or anything like that. I have pretty high building damage. But yeah, that's the thing too, like I said, like if you are picking Undying, not Enigma, I almost said Enigma. If you are picking Undying first and playing it as a carry, you're probably going to win your lane, and your other heroes will get to see more heroes from the enemy team, so they should have good lane matchups and game matchups as well. So yeah, we'll look around a bit more, but I was highest net worth than the 3 enemies, I guess. Like I won my lane, but yeah, my lane could have been better probably too, with better pulls and just less deaths from me. But yeah, I was pretty much highest net worth the entire game. My Tiny with the shard at the end from Roshan passed me a bit, but just a strong hero right now. Yeah, not much more to say than that. If you have any questions, I guess, about carry and dying, because it is all unorthodox, you can leave a comment below, and I'll try to respond. Thanks for watching. Bye.